goddamn, I fucking hate being right sometimes. Hello and welcome back once again to the Wrestling Rant. It's time for, of course, the Battleground review, results, whatever you want to call it. Ugh. I swear, I fucking hate being right sometimes, man. Anyways, as I said, the Battleground pay-per-view from July 20th, 2014 in Tampa, Florida. The pre-show, of course, starts with the pre-show panel hosted by Renee Young, with Booker T, Alex Riley, and Christian. And they talk about the kickoff match, Cameron and Naomi, and then they talk about the Fatal 4-Way match for the title. And then they throw over to the commentators, yada yada. And this is where I have to, I don't know. They added a match to the pre-show. Yeah, we get 2 matches in the pre-show for some reason. They added a match to the pre-show about an hour before the show went on the air, I guess. And that match is Fandango versus Adam Rose. Seemingly only because Adam Rose now has Summer and Layla with him. So, let's see. The 2 whores ditch Johnny, and then they dance with Ziggler. Now all of a sudden they're with Adam Rose. So now they're the new dancing whores, since the Funkadactyls broke up. What the fuck is this shit? So yeah, anyways. Fandango comes out, and then Adam Rose comes out with Summer and Layla, of course, and along with all of his rosebuds. Stupid. Ugh. And they have their match. And I found out about this match just as it was coming out, and immediately I had to scribble down on my predictions paper here. I predicted Adam Rose to win this, just immediately, because just off the top of my head, Rose has been winning. He's on another winning streak. So I figured, and with Johnny losing so much lately, it just, yeah, Fandango's not winning this one. And obviously that's exactly what happened, although, good lord, is this bullshit. So Fandango and Rose start having their match. And Johnny rolled out of the ring, out to the outside, and he's over there standing there, and he went over to Summer and Summer and Layla were leading the rosebuds dancing around the ring. And they get around over to where the commentary table is, and that's where Johnny slides out. He goes out of the ring, and he goes over to Summer and Layla, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I think Layla slapped him first. And then Summer slapped him too on the other side. And I'm thinking, okay, the referee is looking right at this. Why was this not a disqualification? The referee was looking right at it. Didn't do shit. He was just counting because Johnny was on the outside of the ring, of course. Anyways, Johnny gets back in the ring, gets nailed with the party foul by Rose, 1, 2, 3, and Rose wins. So, yeah, I know it wasn't part of my predictions video, but like I said, right before the match happened, I scribbled it down real quick, and I had Rose pegged to win. So, I guess I won't really count that one because, you know, last minute additions and shit, but yeah, I would have been right either way. Because even if it had been announced days ago, I still would have predicted Rose. Stupid shit as it is. But seriously, why the fuck was he not disqualified for Summer and Layla hitting Johnny? That's blatant interference, even if it is from two women. It's still outside interference. What the fuck? The WWE just likes to break their own rules whenever it fits their purpose. It's horse shit. Anyways, after the match, they go to a commercial. And just like on Monday Night Raw, I don't know if I mentioned this in the Raw video, but they plug the shit out of the WWE Network time and time again during this pay-per-view and the pre-show. Because it's failing so hard. Anyways, after the commercial, we cut back over to the panel who talk about the Rollins and Dean Ambrose match. And we even get a nice little video package for it. Which goes through... it starts out by showing this interview with the three members of the Shield before they broke up. And it was mainly Rollins talking about, what the Shield is. It's brotherhood, it's this and that, And of course it eventually leads into Rollins' betrayal, all that other shit, yada yada, whatever. After the video package, the panel talks about it some more, and then they show a recap of Jericho and Bray, and I believe this was Jericho's return, and Bray interrupting him for him and his goons to attack. Yada yada, and then more talking by the panel, who cares. We cut backstage to the interview area, to Tom Phillips, who is interviewing the Usos. And in their crappy little promo, they tease a little bit of dissension between the two of them. One of them says, "Everybody knows I'm the best looking Uso man." And the other one's like, "What?" I'm not sure if he was confused or mad, because I'm like, you're twins. You both look the same. How can one of you look better? It's not like with the Bellas where one of them has big fake tits. I guess one of them has different ugly tattoos than the other one does, but still, in the face, you're the same. Who cares? Shitty promo, moving on. Some strange fucking music hits, and I'm like, and then, yeah, sure enough, there's Cameron coming out. It's time for that match. And I'm thinking, number one, this music is way too face for her, considering she's the heel in this feud. She gets no reaction, by the way. Did I even need to say that? As she's coming out, we get a recap from 2 weeks ago on Raw, the breakup between the two of them. Let's see, they lost a tag match to AJ and Paige, I think. Yeah. And then they started throwing, haymakers at each other. Either way, the Funkadactyl's music hits and out comes Paige, and she gets hardly any reaction. And she immediately jumps Cameron. And so they fight for a little bit. Cameron gets thrown out of the ring. The match finally starts once Cameron gets back into the ring. And then we got a garbage match between these two talentless hoes. There's a fucking Naomi chant. I couldn't believe people were actually chanting for that skank. Either way, what ends up happening is Cameron wins with a cheap-ass roll-up, and she was pulling the tights anyways. So, yeah, Cameron won. So I was wrong about that prediction. Crowd was dead, because they couldn't give a fuck less about either one of these two bitches. Moving on, we cut back over to the panel, who were talking about the Intercontinental title Battle Royal match. And then they talk about the Fatal 4-Way title match. And then they do a nice little video package for the Fatal 4-Way title match. And then they end the pre-show with another commercial for the WWE Network. Or actually, I think it was like 2 or 3 commercials. Oi. So yeah. Anyways, cutting into the pay-per-view, we of course get the intro video and the pyro display on the stage, which, by the way, is the same as the normal Raw stage. Aside from there's no actual stage, it's all flat and there's no ramp. They just have the 2 little Minitrons, I guess, or whatever, up front. They're really getting lazy with these stage designs for the pay-per-views. Like, fuck's sake, Battleground was stupid enough as a pay-per-view, considering it replaced one of the older pay-per-views that was better. I'm not even really sure about that one. Why did they have to change the pay-per-views? Like, I'm old school from the 90s. What happened to the King of the Ring? What happened to Vengeance? What happened to fuck, I'm trying to remember the one that used to just come every year after WrestleMania. Maybe that was Vengeance, I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know, man. I miss the old pay-per-views. Vengeance and King of the Ring. A lot of the old pay-per-views that have just disappeared. And either way. To start off the pay-per-view, the Usos come out. So we're starting off with the tag team title match. The Usos come out and they get in the ring. And then we get the Wyatt cut, and it, you know, the blackout, of course. And we can hear the goofy singing kid singing "Got the Whole World in His Hands" for a few seconds. And then it cuts again, and then it starts up with that hillbilly rock song that Harper and Rowan use, and out they come from the, through the curtain and shit. And they come out to no reaction. And while they're coming out, we get a recap from 2 weeks ago on Raw. Oh yes, it was the match, I believe it was a non-title match between the Usos and the Wyatts, and supposedly Harper clotheslined and pinned the Uso that was the illegal man. And so there was supposedly this controversy. And so I'm guessing that was basically the whole reason why they made this match here at Battleground a 2 out of 3 falls match. So, yeah. Fuck's sake. Anyways, need to take a short break. Okay. Sorry about that. Usually I prepare ahead of time and I grab myself a fresh soda, but I forgot this time. My bad. Oh shit. Gotta have something to drink. Otherwise my voice is going to dry out and I'm going to sound like shit. Anyways, the tag team title 2 out of 3 falls match. I didn't take a whole lot of notes on this match, but... And you know I hate both of these teams. I've been very vocal about that. I don't like the Usos, and I couldn't give a shit less about Harper and Rowan. I think Rowan is still green as fuck, and Harper, I don't give a fuck if he came from Ring of Honor. He's still a fucking hoss. And he's got no charisma. So, yeah. Despite that, this match still turned out to be good. And as a matter of fact, I think it's going to have to take my Best Match of the Night award if I was giving out awards. Because, in all honesty, this was the best match of the night. It had good time, of course, because it was 2 out of 3 falls. It had some good action, especially towards the end. They ended it with an unpredictable way. And, yeah. So anyways, let's just go ahead and go through it. The first fall goes to the Wyatts, and yeah, this is the first note I have written down because there wasn't much at the beginning of the match. The first fall goes to the Wyatts after Harper hits a frickin' mean big boot to the face on one of the Usos. I don't know which one it was. See, that's the problem with these twin tag teams. You can't tell them apart. You know? Yeah, but like I said, Harper hits this fucking mean big boot to the face. I wouldn't be surprised if it legit knocked the Uso out, because it looked fucking mean. He kicked him right in the face. So yeah, of course, you get knocked out with a big boot, you're gonna fucking lose. So, yeah. Like I said, first fall goes to the Wyatts. Shortly thereafter, and yes, this is my second note, the second fall goes to the Usos after the other Uso rolls up Rowan, I think, for a 1-2-3. Yeah, a quick roll up gets the Usos the second fall. So, yeah. It wasn't until the third fall that they actually started doing some good stuff. So, yeah, the beginning half of the match was kind of boring. We get through 2 falls pretty quick, and then we move into the third fall, which was basically the length of a regular match. Or at least a regular pay-per-view match. Let's see. The one Uso gets a hot tag, and he's flying around doing dives out of the ring, and, you know, all this other shit. He does the Whisper in the Wind on Harper, I think. He gets thrown to the outside, and then Harper does his suicide dive on him. And the crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome." And again, I think that chant is a little unwarranted here. The match was good, but I wouldn't say it was awesome, okay? I swear, they really do overuse that chant. For some strange reason, Rowan goes up to the top rope to do a big splash on one of the Usos. But of course the Uso gets out of the way. And I believe it was Jay does the big Snuka splash or the Superfly splash or the Uso splash, I don't care what you call it. He hits the big splash on Rowan, but he only gets a 2. Yeah, Rowan kicked out. And Jay is completely disbelieving. Like, he can't, he's like, he's got his hands on his head. He's like, oh, fuck, this guy is, you know, he's not gonna stay down. So, anyways, what ends up happening is the one Uso, yeah, Jay goes back up to the top for another splash, but Rowan gets up and stops him. and crotches him up on the top rope. And the two of them are fighting up on the top, yada yada. The other Uso comes up, and the two of them together are trying to fight off Rowan. But what ends up happening is Rowan superplexes both Usos off the top rope at the same time. So a double superplex by Rowan on both of the Usos. There was a bunch of other stuff that happened before the finish. Let's see. Harper took a super kick from one of the Usos. Oh yeah, he was going for his discus clothesline thing, but the Uso countered by super kicking him. Harper no-sells it, hits the discus clothesline anyways. And I think he only got a 2, or maybe the other Uso came in and broke up the pin, I don't remember. But what wound up happening was both Usos hit the splash from the same corner at the same time. I think it was on Rowan, or maybe it was Harper. It doesn't matter. We get a double Uso splash on the same guy at the same time from out of the same corner. It looked sloppy, but they hit it. 1, 2, 3. The Usos win and retain the tag team titles. So, again, I was wrong about that match as well. I thought for sure Harper and Rowan were going to win. You're really taking all of the momentum away from Harper and Rowan. But then again, what momentum do they need? They're nothing but lackeys for Bray, so why do they even matter? Crowd's dead, by the way. They couldn't give a shit less about the Usos. Moving on. They show the video package for the Rollins and Ambrose match again. And that segues to them cutting backstage to the interview area again, where there's Tom Phillips again. This time he's with Seth Rollins, who starts talking, yada yada. I can't remember a goddamn thing that he says. But he's basically saying, I'm gonna beat you tonight, Ambrose. And afterwards, later on tonight, I'm going to cash in my money in the bank on Cena or whoever wins, no matter what, something or other. Rollins was saying something, but then all of a sudden, here comes Ambrose, tackles Rollins, and starts beating the shit out of him. He's beating the shit out of him, and then overcomes some of the road agents. I saw Jamie Noble, and I saw Joey Mercury. So, yeah. Them and referees and security, they come over, they break it up. You know, Triple H even comes over. And he's telling security to get Ambrose out of here and don't let him back in the building. And I'm thinking, what the fuck, you idiot? They're supposed to have a match. Even the commentators were confused by this. They cut over to him and they're like, yeah, what the fuck? And of course JBL is kissing the authorities' ass. He was just atrocious on commentary all goddamn night. I swear. But there could be a silver lining to that. According to what I've heard, Renee Young is being groomed to join the commentary table to replace JBL. Thank God something good actually might happen. Holy fuck. Ugh. Anyways. With that being said, apparently the Rollins and Ambrose match was supposed to happen next. Of course, they played the video package and they were interviewing Rollins. But yeah, okay, since Ambrose got himself thrown out of the building, we're going to move right on to the next match. Out comes Paige for the Divas title match. And as she comes out, we get a recap from 3 months ago, the night after WrestleMania. Paige debuting and winning the title from AJ. And then AJ's music hits and she comes out to no reaction. Or at least it didn't sound like she got any reaction. Normally the crowd blows up for AJ. But this time they didn't. Or at least I didn't hear it. I don't know. That one kind of confused me because, like, seriously, normally they blow up for AJ. I think the people have realized, oh great, they've basically killed off Paige. This is bad. Anyways, while AJ is coming out, we get a recap of AJ's return from a couple of weeks ago. And her winning the title back from Paige. And the match happens. And it pains me to say this, but this match was not that good. There were some botches, some ugly spots that just didn't look good. Immediately there was a CM Punk chant. And then we got a dueling chant. Let's go AJ and let's go Paige. There was a spot where Paige does this ugly tackle on AJ, and the two of them fall through the ropes and out of the ring. It looked really nasty. Like, not in a good way. Like, it looked like a botch, because it half didn't even work. But Paige gets up, she grabs AJ and throws her into the barricade. Anyways, coming back into the ring, we got a super sunset flip spot out of the corner. Paige does that on AJ, and again, it looked botched and ugly. I believe Paige threw AJ into the ropes and went for a sidewalk slam. But AJ counters into the Black Widow, and she gets it locked in, but Paige counters out of it and does the Paige Turner, which is how she won the title from AJ in the first place. But she hits the Paige Turner, and AJ kicks out at 2. Let's see, I think what happened was Paige was going for the Scorpion Crosslock or the Paige Tap Out. AJ kicked her out, or kicked her off, and Paige falls back into the corner. She falls down on her butt, and then AJ comes charging and hits the Shining Wizard. And AJ gets the cover. 1, 2, 3. AJ wins and retains the Divas title. And again, crowd is dead. Because again, they're sick of Paige being buried. Jesus, they have fucking ruined Paige since bringing her up to the main roster. Moving on, we get a SummerSlam commercial. They announced that SummerSlam will take place in the same place it's been in for the last couple of years in a row, Los Angeles, California, the Staples Center, and that will be on August 17th. So let's see, it's about getting towards the end of July right now, so yeah, maybe only 2 or 3 weeks worth of build for SummerSlam. That's not very good. After that, we got a recap. Okay, I think I see what was going on here. We got a recap from Raw this past Monday, and that was the ending match with, it was Rollins, Kane, and Orton versus Roman and Cena. And it was the clusterfuck where, let's see, Kane accidentally hit Orton, and then Roman accidentally speared Cena, and then Orton RKO's Kane for the punch earlier, yada yada. That was basically the recap there. And of course that segues, they cut backstage to the bowels of the arena. There's Randy Orton, who's looking for Kane. He's like, Kane, where are you? Kane, come here, man. He's like whispering. I'm like, why are you whispering? Anyways, Kane shows up behind him, and Randy starts talking to him. He's trying to apologize about what happened, the recap thing, and Kane is like, I don't remember exactly what he said, or not everything that he said, but he ended by saying, "Trust me, Randy, the winner of the match tonight is standing right here." Okay. Moving on. We cut back over to the pre-show panel, and they start talking about the Fatal 4-Way match again. And then we get a recap of Rusev and Swagger from this past Monday's Raw. The whole stupid debate detente thing that they had on Raw. And it even showed Lana slapping Zeb. And then, of course, Rusev and Swagger getting into it. And Swagger locking in the ankle lock. Moving on. Holy shit. Fuck. Anyways, moving on. Of course, that's just a segue into what happens. Lillian Garcia, the ring announcer, introduces Rusev. And out he comes with Lana in tow. And of course, to no reaction. Because the crowd don't give a fuck about this ugly hoss. Anyways, they get in the ring, and Lana gets the mic, and she starts talking again. She goes through her usual anti-American bullshit, and Russia is so great, Vladimir Putin, and all that shit, blah, 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 wonk, wonk, wonk. Bitch, you're from Florida! I'm surprised. They're in Florida. They're in Tampa. I'm surprised the people didn't fucking start chanting that. You're from Florida. Seriously, people. Start chanting that. Anyways. Real Americans music hit, and out comes Swagger with Zeb Coulter. And they come out and they get in the ring, and then Zeb gets a mic and he starts talking some more. And I don't think he gets too much out, because Lana slaps him in the face again. And of course a fight breaks out between Rusev and Swagger. And it ends with Rusev getting thrown out of the ring. So that's just a little brawl before the match. Match actually starts, and it turns out to be a shit match. It was long, it was slow, it was boring. And guess who fucking won? There was a We the People chant. Swagger hits the Swagger bomb. Rusev goes for his super kick, but of course Swagger catches it into the Patriot lock. Rusev manages to get a rope break, and then he rolls out of the ring. And then Swagger goes out and locks in the Patriot lock on Rusev on the outside of the ring, out on the floor. And this is the finish of the match, by the way. Rusev rolls through, throwing Swagger head first into the ring post. Swagger's out. Rusev gets up limping because of the Patriot lock. He rolls in the ring. Ref counts to 10. Of course, he had already been counting this whole time. He was at about 8 when, actually he was about 9 when Rusev got in the ring. And then the ref just goes 10. Swagger's counted out. Rusev wins by countout. Rusev and Lana celebrate in the ring. The stupid giant flag explodes down from the rafters. Crowd's dead. Some medics and referees or whatever came over to look at Swagger because he was out. Like, he really banged his fucking head on that post. He was out. Lana looks down at Swagger, and she looks at Rusev, and she goes, "Rusev crush!" And he goes out and grabs Swagger and throws him back into the ring. Stomps on him like he always does. Locks him in the Accolade. until finally some referees come in and break it up. Moving on. Lana and Rusev leave. Blah. Who cares? Moving on. Another fucking commercial break. Probably another network commercial. I think pretty much all of the commercials they showed were for the network. Please buy our crappy network. It's not selling very well. We need you to fucking give us more money. No, you rotten sacks of dog shit. We're not going to give you any more fucking money. Okay? You don't deserve it. Until Cena is gone from the WWE forever, you're not getting another red cent out of me. And nobody else should give him any more money either. Seriously, people, stop showing up to their shows. If you've already bought tickets, sell them. Don't buy the pay-per-views anymore. Don't sign up for the fucking network. Don't buy any more merchandise. Nothing. Stop giving these motherfuckers money. Until they start losing money by the truckload, they're not going to change. Because that's all they care about right now. Cena's selling merchandise, and that's all that matters. They keep that piece of shit in the top spot just because he sells merchandise. Never mind the fact he's the most unentertaining son of a bitch the WWE has ever seen. Moving on. We cut back to the Black Hole, where there's Stardust again, ranting and raving and basically cutting an Ultimate Warrior promo. Up comes Goldust, and the two of them go back and forth, and I really don't know what the fuck to make of this shit, but it's... I don't know, it's... Can we just get to the point already with this shit? I'm starting to lose my, interest in this crap. Anyways, cutting back to the arena, Rollins' crappy music hits, and out he comes, carrying his Money in the Bank briefcase, and I'm like... Ambrose was thrown out of the building. Why the fuck are you coming out? Well, speaking of, as he's coming out, they get a recap of earlier, Ambrose being thrown out after attacking Rollins' punk ass. Rollins gets in the ring and he gets a microphone and he talks. And he says, I've come out here to accept my victory by forfeit. And he looks at Justin Roberts, the ring announcer, and he says, I want you to announce it. And he looks at the referee, who's standing there for some reason, and I want you to hold my hand up. And that's exactly what happens. Roberts announces, here is your winner by forfeit, Seth Rollins. Referee holds his hand up. And Seth starts leaving, up the ramp. He's backing down the ramp, and all of a sudden, here comes Ambrose again. Somehow getting back into the arena, he comes down and he starts beating the shit out of Rollins again. Throws his punk ass, they go back down to ringside. He throws Rollins' punk ass into the crowd. They start fighting up through the crowd. They work their way all the way around the fucking ringside area, back over towards the timekeeper area, or no. No. It started in the left corner right from the ramp, went out, they come back down to the corner over by the commentary table at the back on the left. So it only worked about a quarter of the way around. Anyways, they come over, Seth ends up getting slammed on the Spanish announce table. Finally, out comes security to break it up. They're trying to carry Ambrose away, but he comes back somehow, and he gets in and he starts beating on Rollins some more. And then more people come out, including Triple H again, and he's breaking it up. And these people are literally carrying Ambrose, trying to get him the hell out of there. They're carrying him up the ramp. Rollins dives, I think, off the barricade on top of him to try and get at Ambrose. They really want to fucking kill each other. Again, they're trying to break it up, and Ambrose is getting carried out again. Rollins comes running up and dives on him again. finally, they get it broken up. Triple H is holding Rollins back and even holds his hand up. So I will say, technically Rollins did win the match, as shitty as it is, but I did predict that, and you may remember from the predictions video, I did say that somehow Rollins would win. By hook or by crook. I kind of figured he'd get help from like Orton or Kane or both. No, the match never really took place. We get a screwball forfeit win for Rollins. So technically that's a win for Rollins. I'm gonna count it. But whatever. Anyways, moving on. We get a nice little video package for Jericho versus Bray Wyatt. Moving on. Bray's music hits and he comes out with Harper and Rowan, or I should say they do the cut and he does the Tampa, we're here and whatever. He comes out with Harper and Rowan, and I'm thinking, yeah, of course, Bray, because that's the only way you can win, is with your flunkies helping you. And immediately, after Bray finishes his entrance, the crowd starts chanting, Y2J, Y2J. And I'm like, yeah. You hit your head on the Cena ceiling hard, didn't you, motherfucker? He's not coming back from this one, folks. Doesn't matter how much Jericho might put him over. Anyways, Jericho comes out, yada yada, we get the match. And this match turned out to be decent, I guess. Was still kind of boring in parts. It was not as good as the tag team title match. Let's see, there was a dueling chant. I guess a Let's Go Bray and a Let's Go... Or no, a Let's Go Bray and then Y2J. Either way. Jericho hits his triangle springboard drop kick. And that knocks Bray out of the ring, and he's over there being helped by Harper and Rowan. Jericho gets up on the top rope and dives on top of all three of them. And let's see, I think Jericho threw Bray back into the ring, and then Jericho was trying to get back in the ring to go after him, but Harper grabs Jericho by the foot. And the referee sees it. And he makes the call, I'm throwing your asses out of here. So Harper and Rowan are ejected. Jericho's still standing on the apron. Bray's looking on like, what the fuck? But Jericho is watching Harper and Rowan leave. Bray comes running, hits Jericho off the apron. Jericho flies off and hits the barricade. Okay. Alright. Fast forwarding a little bit. Bray goes for his goofy little swinging tilt-a-whirl rib breaker thing that he's been doing lately. Jericho botched it because he landed on his feet. I think Bray kind of hit him and then said, okay, fuck it, we're going to do it again. He does it again and he actually does it this time. He goes for the Husky Harris special, the running senton, but Jericho gets his knees up to block it. Fast forwarding again, Jericho was up on the top rope. Don't know what the fuck he was going for, but Bray gets up and stops him, and they're fighting around and yada yada. Bray crotches Jericho, and he's down on the mat. He's not on the corner anymore. He's down on the mat. Standing on the mat, I should say. He grabs Jericho by the head. And I'm thinking, like, okay, what is he doing? He almost has him cinched up for the Sister Abigail, but not quite. But Jericho's face down. Bray is facing towards him, but he grabs him by the head, and he backs out of the corner a little bit, so Jericho's kind of draped out of the corner. And then Bray just kind of drops down to his knees. So it looked kind of like the Tower of London, which was the finishing move that Nigel McGuinness, known as Desmond Wolfe in TNA. This was the move that Desmond Wolfe was using in TNA, which was basically like a Stone Cold Stunner hung from the corner. But Bray was the other way around, so it was more like a reverse Tower of London. It looked interesting, but it was basically just a corner-assisted jawjacker. Anyways, moving on. Jericho gets Bray down off of the running facebuster, and then Jericho goes for the lion salt. Bray, turnabout's fair play, he gets his knees up and blocks the lion salt. So they're both down, the referee's counting. Bray does his stupid crab walk, and he gets up and he hits the Uranagi slam thing on Jericho. And then there was kind of a weird spot. Bray was in the corner. Jericho comes running and goes for that sort of running flip-through schoolboy thing that he does a lot of times. But he does it in such a way that as Bray falls down, he smacks the back of his head on the bottom turnbuckle. So, yeah. Either way, they end up out on the apron. Oh yeah, Bray was out on the apron. Jericho went for his triangle dropkick again, but Bray backed up. Jericho lands out on the apron, and I think Bray kicked him, grabbed him by the head, and drops down, DDTs him on the apron. Fast forwarding a bit, let's see. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened to lead up to this. Oh yeah, Bray had hit his running cross forearm chop thing that he does where he just kind of lobs his ass at the guy, cross chop the fuck out of him. He hits that. He went for the cover, only got a 2. The two of them both get up, and Jericho hits a code breaker out of nowhere. Cover 1, 2, 3, Jericho wins. So yeah, Jericho just won. So again, I was wrong about that one. I thought Bray was going to win, because, you know, they need to kind of put him over. I don't know if maybe they've soured on Bray Wyatt and they're just punishing him, or if we're going to extend it. This is probably what's going to happen. They're extending the feud, and they're going to have Bray win down the line, and he'll actually win the feud. Either way, who cares? Moving on. We cut out to the outside of the arena. There's Seth Rollins with his briefcase and 2 security guards following him out. It looks like Rollins is leaving the arena. They get out to the parking lot, and Rollins turns around to the security guards and he says, you know, I don't really need you guys. You guys can go back in. I don't need you. So those guys fuck off. And that leaves Rollins on his own in the dark parking lot. Rollins is kind of looking around like he's worried, and I'm like, are you really that dumb, stupid? You really should have kept the security there. What else fucking happens? Rollins is like turning around almost in circles. This is like straight out of a horror movie. He's like turning around, and I almost expected him to be like, Ambrose, are you out here? I'll kill you if you try to attack me. Like, I seriously expected him to do that, but no. Rollins is turned around, and the camera can see behind him. From behind, the trunk of a car opens up. And there's Ambrose with a fucking tire iron. He runs at him, he's like, ah! And Rollins turns around at the last second, sees it coming, ducks the tire iron shot. Ambrose throws that away. They start fighting, blah! And they go over. And apparently it was Seth's rental car that Ambrose came out of. It was a Dodge Charger, new model. They're fighting. They go up on top of the car. And I think Rollins threw Ambrose off to the side of the car, slides down the driver's side of the car, gets in the door, starts the car up, and fucking, he floors it, and he gets the hell out of there. So he's gone. So no cash in. He's not going to be able to come back. That's it for that segment, and we get another commercial break. Undoubtedly another network video. Now it is finally time for the Intercontinental Title Battle Royal. But before that, every fucking participant gets an entrance. Not a full entrance, it was very hurried. They basically got like half entrances. They got introductions from, I believe it was Lillian Garcia. But they basically, like I said, they get half entrances. They get about halfway down the ramp, or the aisle area, and then the next guy comes out. So first out comes Big E, and then Del Rio, and then Cesaro, and then R-Truth, and then Ryback, Curtis Axel, Zack Ryder, Titus O'Neil, Damian Sandow, who's dressed in beach gear for some reason. He's in like board shorts and like a tank top, and he's got the goofy hat on, and I think he even had the white shit on his nose. Don't know who the fuck he was supposed to be, but he had his normal music. And then Heath Slater, and then Diego the Matador, and I should bring this up. Stupid JBL on commentary, after Diego starts coming out, he says, "Oh, I hoped it was gonna be El Torito." And I'm like, yeah, just bury them guys even more. Yeah, we want to see the midget in this match, you stupid fuck. Anyways, then Sin Cara comes out, followed by Xavier Woods, and then the Great Khali, and then Kofi Kingston, and then Bo Dallas, and then Dolph Ziggler, and then The Miz, and then Sheamus. And that's it for the participants. And then Wade Barrett's music hits, the former champion, of course. He comes out in a suit with his arm in a sling, because he's supposed to have a hurt shoulder. And he cuts another boring, shitty promo where he basically says, it doesn't matter who wins this battle royal to become the new Intercontinental Champion. It's basically going to be like an old couple moving here to Florida. It'll be great at first, but then it'll turn bad. Because no matter what, I'm coming back for my Intercontinental title. Blah, blah, blah. Shitty promo from a shitty wrestler and a shitty... Fuck Wade Barrett! God damn it, I'm sick to death of seeing this motherfucker. Anyways, we get the fucking Battle Royal, and it turned out to be crap. It started with the stupidest goddamn spot. Everybody wisely attacks the Great Khali first, and there's a big pile up on him, which Khali fights out of, throwing everybody off of him. Like, this was the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time. Khali is not that goddamn strong, okay? He had 18 other people on him. And yes, you heard that right, 18. This match was originally supposed to be a 20-man battle royal. Adam Rose, I believe, was supposed to be in it, but because he faced Fandango in the pre-show match, he was taken out of it. Or maybe it was supposed to be RVD in the battle royal. I don't know, but either way, it was only 19. But yeah, Khali has 18 other guys pile up on him, and he knocks all of them off. Either way, they all start fighting, blah, blah, blah. Xavier Woods is the first to be eliminated. I believe he got thrown out by Khali, followed by Zack Ryder. And then Khali gets eliminated. I believe he ate a brogue kick from Sheamus, and then Sheamus chucked his ass out. Sin Cara gets eliminated. R-Truth gets eliminated. Curtis Axel gets eliminated. Damien Sandow gets eliminated. Diego gets eliminated, followed by Ryback, and then Titus O'Neil. And then we had some goofy shit. Of course, since this is a battle royal, Kofi has to do his miraculous save bullshit. Let's see. I believe the first thing... Oh yeah, the first thing. Cesaro was on the apron. Kofi went to hit the Trouble in Paradise on him to knock him out. But Cesaro ducks, gets his head in between the middle and top rope, and he tries to backdrop Kofi out of the ring. But Kofi hangs on, skins the cat back up, basically, to get on top of Cesaro. He gets himself back in, and he tries to knock Cesaro out again, but Cesaro's hanging on to Kofi by his dreads. Yeah. The two of them both get back in the ring, yada yada. Moving on, Del Rio gets eliminated. Oh, right. And I had a question mark next to this because this was fucking stupid. Del Rio gets knocked down and rolls onto the apron under the bottom rope. And then him and Ziggler were having a fight on the apron. Del Rio went to hit his concussion kick on the apron. They were both on the apron. But Ziggler got out of the way somehow. I can't remember exactly what happened. But Del Rio falls out of the ring and they say Del Rio's been eliminated. And I'm like, how? He rolled onto the apron under the bottom rope and never got back into the ring before he was eliminated. So he wasn't actually thrown over the top rope. I don't know, maybe I missed something. Don't care, it doesn't really matter. Afterwards, Big E gets eliminated. Oh, and this leads into more shit with Kofi again. Let's see. Big E was eliminated and he was standing out on the floor. Kofi's on the apron. Somebody went to attack him. I think it was Cesaro. Yeah, it was Cesaro. Cesaro went to attack him. Kofi jumps backwards off of the apron and lands on the shoulders of Big E. And Big E, they're supposed to be friends, so Big E's like holding him, and he's like, okay, whatever. Ugh, this is stupid. What ends up happening, Cesaro comes out to the apron, grabs Kofi off of Big E's shoulders, suplexes him upwards, and I think fell backwards. Kofi lands back in the ring, but let's see. He tried to eliminate Cesaro, but Cesaro gets back in the ring, and I think he just basically clotheslined Kofi out of the ring, so Kofi was eliminated. But then Cesaro is like laughing at Kofi. Heath Slater comes up from behind and throws Cesaro out of the ring, over the top rope. And Cesaro is eliminated by Heath fucking Slater. What in the fuck? Either way, I think Slater was laughing, celebrating that he eliminated Cesaro. Bo Dallas comes up from behind him and throws Slater out. And then Bo was celebrating because he just eliminated somebody. And I think Sheamus came up from behind and brogue kicked Bo. And Bo goes out of the ring, so Bo gets eliminated. And by the way, at this point, I should probably make note of the fact that I haven't said anything about The Miz. He spent most of the match on the outside of the ring. He rolled out of the ring under the bottom rope 2 or 3 times during the match and just chilled out on the floor. Yeah. It's at this point that Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler are the only two left in the ring. But they're not the only two that are left in the match. Miz is still technically in the match. He's out on the floor. He rolled out under the bottom rope, so he wasn't eliminated. Can you see where I'm going with this? Ziggler and Sheamus are going at each other. They're fighting, brawling back and forth, yada yada. I'm trying to remember exactly how it happened. Either way, Ziggler clotheslines Sheamus out of the ring, and Sheamus is eliminated. Ziggler's the only one in the ring. He's down, kind of throated on the ropes. He looks completely exhausted and winded. You know, battle royals tend to do that to you. Ziggler's looking like he's looking relieved, like, I won, you know, whatever. He stands up. Miz scrambles in the ring from out of nowhere, throws Ziggler out of the ring over the top rope. Ziggler's eliminated, and Miz is the winner and the new Intercontinental Champion. And the crowd was pissed. Miz celebrates with the belt. He's holding it up. He's standing on the turnbuckles, you know, this and that. Ziggler's on the outside, sat down, leaned up against the barricade. He just looks completely depressed. Like, seriously. I feel bad for Ziggler at this point. He's got so much heart and so much talent, and they just continue to shit all over him. If we do not get a match for the title between Miz and Ziggler tomorrow night on Raw, I'm gonna be mad. Or if they don't make a feud out of this. Anyways, like I said, the crowd was dead. Moving on. We get another commercial break, and it's another SummerSlam video. And then they also happen to show the video where they say that Flo Rida is going to be on Raw tomorrow night. And I found out he's actually going to be performing one of his songs. So, I'm going to be changing the channel. That's not even a joke. I will not watch this motherfucker perform one of his songs. He's shit. I don't even like rap that much anyways. So, moving on. We get the video package for the Fatal 4-Way match again. And of course, that's just to lead into it's time for the match. Orton's music hits and he comes out to no reaction. And while he's up on the turnbuckle doing his pose, stage blows up with Kane's pyro kind of interrupting Randy. So Kane comes out. And then Reigns' music hits and he comes out to a nice little pop. And while he's coming out, I noticed that, you may recall how I noticed that since the Shield breakup, Roman's been wearing essentially the same outfit, but it's a little bit different. He has trim around all the different little things on his vest and the pockets on his pants. It was gray before. Tonight it comes out and the trim is gold. So, yeah, that looks nice. And then Cena comes out to his usual mixed reaction of about 80% boos and only about 20% cheers. And Justin Roberts, the ring announcer, does the big match introductions. And we finally start the match. I don't actually have a rating written down for this match. I don't really know what to make of it. It was your typical sort of Fatal 4-Way in that it was a clusterfuck for the most part. It was a lot of throwing one guy or two guys out of the ring to keep them away so we can have a one-on-one match. Or at least a two-on-one, because there was a lot of Kane and Orton double-teaming people for the first half of the match. Let's see, there was a "You Can't Wrestle" chant. And then I believe they chanted Roman Reigns. And then they chanted Daniel Bryan. And then we got a Tower of Pain spot in the corner. Let's see. I think Randy... Oh yeah, I think what ended up happening is about halfway through the match, Kane finally turns on Randy. Because, they were working together, but, bickering and bullshit. Oh yeah, Kane went for a pin, and that pissed Randy off. So they start fighting each other. Kane, I think, was trying to superplex Randy. Cena and Roman come up from behind, and they do the Tower of Pain where they powerbomb Kane down as Kane superplexes Randy down. So yeah, there's that. Randy ends up hitting a double hung DDT on both Reigns and Cena at the same time. And then Randy does the Canadian Maple Leaf on Reigns. He threw Reigns into the ropes and then grabbed his leg and rolled backwards into the Maple Leaf, the half Boston Crab. Roman was able to get out of it, and then he puts Randy into his own half crab. So yeah, nice little half crab by Roman. And then Cena comes up and locks in the head and arm of Orton, kind of like the STF, or almost like a crossface, really. But the two of them had this going on, and the commentators are like, well, wait a minute, if Orton taps out, who wins? Of course, Kane comes up and breaks it up. Cena locks in the STF on Orton by himself, and let's see, I think Randy crawled to the ropes, but Cena pulls him back, locks the move in again. Orton crawls back to the ropes again, and he's going for the ropes, but he can't quite reach it, apparently. And it looks like he's got his arm raised like he's about to tap out. And then you see Roman's hand shoot in, because Roman was on the outside of the ring. Roman's hand shoots in under the bottom rope, and he grabs Randy's arm by the wrist, and he's like, no, you're not tapping out, motherfucker. He jumps in and he punches, Cena just broke the hold, basically. So Reigns stopped Randy from tapping out. Let's see. Cena started doing his comeback combo, and he gets Roman down, and he goes for the 5-knuckle shuffle. But as he goes to hit the ropes, Reigns jumps up, hits the opposite ropes, and clocks Cena with the Superman punch. And then I think he hits Cena with the spear. And he goes for the cover, but Kane breaks it up. There was a huge clusterfuck out on the outside. Somebody was thrown on the ropes. Randy was on the commentary table. Randy eats the running drop kick from Roman on the table. And then Roman continues over, jumps up and does the drop kick on Kane, I think it was, on the apron. And then Orton was kind of staggered over by the barricade by the timekeeper area. Roman comes back after kicking Kane in the face. Roman comes over and spears Randy through the fucking barricade. So Randy's wiped out. The crowd starts chanting, "This is awesome," which, granted, that spot was nice, but the match itself was not super great. Roman hits the spear on Kane back in the ring, and Cena breaks up the pin. I think Roman got thrown out of the ring. Cena hits the attitude adjustment on Kane, and then Roman breaks up the pin. Roman takes the attitude adjustment from Cena, of course, and Kane breaks up the pin. And then Kane chokeslams Cena, and then he chokeslams Roman Reigns. He covers Roman, and Roman kicks out at 2. And I think what happened was Kane picks Reigns up and was going to go for the tombstone, but Roman got out of it, and he spears Kane. Goes for the cover, and Orton breaks it up. Randy picks Roman up, hits the RKO on him. Cena comes out of nowhere, hits the attitude adjustment on Orton. covers him. 1, 2, 3. Cena wins and retains the fucking title. I fucking hate being right sometimes, damn it. I told you Cena was gonna retain. Fucking told you. And instead of giving us something that would have been interesting, because, supposedly Paul Heyman had his plan C, which was probably going to be Brock Lesnar, instead of Lesnar coming out to destroy Cena, there'd basically be no point to it, because that would basically only lead to a Rollins cash-in, and Rollins had fucking took a hike for the night. Yeah. So instead of getting anything interesting, all we get is Cena celebrating. Reigns is on the outside of the ring, propped up against the fucking commentary table, looking like, you motherfucker. And Cena even looked over at him, and he's like, yeah, bitch, fuck you. Motherfucking passive-aggressive shit stain, I swear to God. Cena leaves. He walks up the aisle and out through the curtain, and the pay-per-view fucking ends. Nothing happens at the end. That was your pay-per-view, folks. You got one good match. You got one decent match, Jericho and Bray. And then you got a bunch of crap. I guess I'll give him a little bit of credit. The Fatal 4-Way was decent, but just leading to Cena getting the fucking win again. Well, like I said, I knew it was coming, so... Like I said, that was the pay-per-view. As always, let's recap the matches, as well as my predictions, to see how many I got right and how many I got wrong. In the pre-show, the very, very... the match that they only announced about an hour before the show went on the air. Fandango and Adam Rose. Rose wins. I did predict that, although I know it wasn't in my video. But like I said, I scribbled it down as soon as it was coming out, and I just figured Rose was going to win. I won't really count that one towards the tally, but whatever. And then we got Cameron defeating Naomi, which I was wrong about. I thought Naomi was going to win. I guess they kind of had to have Cameron win to put her over as a heel. But also, it was the shitty roll-up, so it made Naomi, or it didn't make Naomi look bad. No, the match did that on its own, because both of these chicks suck in the ring. So there's that. In the pay-per-view, we had the Usos defeating Harper and Rowan in the 2 out of 3 falls match, which I was also wrong about. I thought Harper and Rowan were going to win that one. And then we got Paige versus AJ, with AJ winning and retaining just as I predicted, so that one I got right. And then we got Rusev defeating Jack Swagger. Shitty match, but Rusev won just like I predicted. And I'll count this one, I guess, even though I probably shouldn't. Rollins came out and accepted the forfeit win in his match versus Ambrose. So Rollins technically won that one, which I was right about, although there was no match. So I don't know if I should really count that one, but I don't care. After that, we got Jericho defeating Bray Wyatt, which I was wrong about. I thought Bray had that one. Don't care, though. And then we got the Intercontinental title Battle Royal, which I was also wrong about. I had thought Cesaro was going to win. Not only did he not win, he also gets eliminated in a fucking awful way by Heath Slater. Fuck off. And The Miz wins, crushing the crowd's hopes of seeing Ziggler win a title again. So I was wrong about that one. And then we finally got the Fatal 4-Way match for the title, which John Cena won, of course, just like I predicted. So let's see. That's 4 that I got wrong, and 4 that I got right. I won't count the Fandango and Rose match, otherwise it would have been 5 I got right. Doesn't matter, though. So I was half right about my predictions here, not counting Fandango and Rose. So, whatever. That was your Battleground pay-per-view from July 20th, 2014, from Tampa, Florida. This pay-per-view sucked. You got the good tag team match. You got the decent Jericho and Bray match. Everything else was either crap or shit or not that great. So seriously, you had 2 decent matches. Decent or good. Fuck you, WWE. You want your fucking network to sell? You might want to start putting good shit on your shows and on your pay-per-views. You're not instilling us with a lot of confidence in your network if you're going to keep giving us this garbage on Raw every week, and on SmackDown, and on your pay-per-views. You want to know why the network ain't selling? It's because of this shit. So, that will do it for this episode of the Wrestling Rant. I don't really think there's anything else to say. Don't know what the hell's going to happen tomorrow night on Raw. Cena will probably have his ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. That's what Plan C is supposedly going to be. And according to Paul Heyman's Twitter, Plan C will be at Raw tomorrow night. Heyman was saying that during the Fatal 4-Way match. It was going to be at Raw tomorrow night, not tonight at the pay-per-view. Which obviously we didn't get Brock at the pay-per-view. No, because we can't waste one of his fucking limited appearances. Goddamn. Like I said, that's it for this episode of the Wrestling Rant. Thank you for joining us. Please join us again tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. We'll see you tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. So please join us then. Thank you for watching, and good night.